What's going on YouTube today? I got me another reaction video, you know what I'm saying? Today we're gonna react to another Trap Geek video, you know what I'm saying? One of my viewers, somebody react to this thing called HSM, the largest crew takedown in rap history, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm guessing shit, a whole ass gang or some shit got taken down on some crazy shit, you know what I'm saying? Thumbnail look crazy, but it got 2.4 million views in 3 months, so you know, I'm gonna jump straight into the shit. Tired of talking.
This operation was intended to dismantle the NOB gang and take the most violent members of that gang off the street.
I don't expect to see these individuals out on the street the next day wearing a bracelet.
31 members and associates of Dorchester-based NOB Street Gang are now facing federal charges. Some were arrested this morning during raids in various parts of the state, including this in Attleboro.
Alright, we're gonna talk about the NOB story. Probably one of the wildest things we've seen in a while. Also one of the biggest RICO cases in rap history. I'm talking 31 people taken down for RICO conspiracy spanning from Boston to Cape Cod to Maine and all across Massachusetts. So the faces of NOB are two rappers by the name of G Fredo and 7981 Cal. They got tracks with Polo G, Mozzie, but they're pretty slept on in the mainstream. Everybody locally knows them, especially the feds who had been watching for years. And they actually started to build a case against them in 2019 when they noticed these dudes were recreating murder scenes in their music videos that had gone unsolved in the city. They were filming music videos on their ops block, burning their ops' hats, and super reckless shit. The feds were...
That's disrespectful as fuck. Imagine you're a rapper, right? And you got somebody knocked off. And then you make a music video behind how you knocked that nigga off. Bro, that's disrespectful. At an all-time high. Is this nigga still alive? This G-Fredo nigga? I'm guessing he's the one who did it. And this nigga... Bro, that's mad disrespectful, bro. Ain't no way you get away with that type of shit down here in Broward. I mean, I'm not in Broward. But in Broward or some shit, ain't no way you get away with that type of shit. Hell no.
Were able to connect these music videos to a larger RICO conspiracy involving murders, beatings, bank fraud, pimping rings, and coke and fentanyl distribution across several state lines.
In fact, a couple of them were wearing GPS bracelets while committing their alleged...
What's crazy is the NOB gang knew this was coming. The rapper 791 Cal even released a song called Rico a couple days ago. They could feel the walls closing in. Now, we're gonna get into all this.
I should do a reaction to that shit? Y'all let me know.
But before we do, check out my song of the day. This is my guy Foggy Raw. Let's go.
Hey out there, I'm extreme. Can't give up finessing in my dream. Sing a song to your sweetie and falsetto like the dream. Shorty not a 10, she a bean. Damn, it's BB lit. Damn, it's a BB drip. Damn, I'm a TV lit. Call my grandma on her phone, is you seeing it? Baby, I was gonna go to a beer and just be like this. Damn, but I'm being this. I don't feel no nigga.
Sure, lucky slide.
Alright, in order to understand this story, we gotta go to one hood in particular in Boston called Dorchester. And this is the home of the NOB gang. Now, NOB stands for the three streets that they rep: Norton, Olney, and Berry Street. And they've had this huge beef with two blocks that are literally 5 minutes away from them in both directions. Holmes Avenue to the south and Camross.
I don't understand how shit like that happens. I know in Chicago, isn't like O Block right next to fucking... What's that shit? I forgot the other place, bro. But they beefing and they like right next to each other, bro. Like, bro, I don't understand how that shit happened. Y'all literally 5 minutes from each other, bro. How the hell y'all beef? Like, why is y'all beefing? Like, nigga, what? That shit don't make no sense.
Street to the east. Now, what's crazy is most, if not all, the members of NOB are Cape Verdean. See, a lot of people don't know this, but Boston and the surrounding areas in Massachusetts have the highest Cape Verdean population outside of Cape Verde in the world, because a lot of folks from Cape Verde migrated to Massachusetts to take part in the whaling industry, where they would go out hunting for whales for their oil, meat, and whalebone, which that was big business till the 1920s. Then the industry died out. Boston became super gentrified, making rent literally the third most expensive in America, pushing people people into hoods. And you ended up with these triple-decker houses, many of which needed Section 8 to survive. But this is where it gets crazy. Not only are NOB mostly Cape Verdean, but the blocks that they're beefing with are also Cape Verdean, so you end up with cases where you literally got some cousins who are fighting each other. Blood cousins from opposite blocks, beefing with each other. I mean, I heard stories of the rapper G. Fredo.
Y'all see how them white folks try to set everybody up, bro? They raise the rent. Bro, they do this shit on purpose, my nigga. If you ain't, bro, they raise the rent or the damn price that, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm trying to say. And they push all the niggas back into the hood, bro. Get y'all fighting this shit again, bro. Shit, that shit's just crazy. And white folks do that. They know what they doing, bro. They know what they doing. They don't kill us directly. They do. No cap with the police and shit. But they just let us kill ourselves, bro. Like, nah, that's crazy.
Was at a family event with his own ops, and there was so much tension there, they had to separate them on each side of the party away from each other until it just got too hot and they had to cancel the event altogether. Now, in 2017, G. Fredo and 7981 Cal started releasing tracks to SoundCloud, and they were documenting everything they were doing in the streets, and this shit was escalating quickly. One day in September of 2017, 7981 Cal and his homie Ricky were casing this Cape Verdean barbershop because they had seen one of their ops from Cameron Street go in there for a shape-up. Now, his name was Bunzo, and the NOB gang were notorious for using these scooters to do hits, because scooters are super mobile, you can get in and out of places that cars can't get into.
Bro, who used to use that damn... I think it was Love 4 that used to say that shit, drive by on a scooter. And them niggas, bro, when these people rap about shit, I don't be taking them serious sometimes. Like when a nigga said drive by on a scooter, I was like, oh, we just trying to be funny. Nah, these niggas really doing drive-bys on scooters and shit. Like, what the fuck?
So Bunzo went into the barbershop, and 791 Cal pulled up on a scooter, following him into the barber's, and allegedly unloaded 30 rounds into him, killing him on the spot. Cal got back on the scooter and dipped. The only problem for them was, at the time, his homie Ricky, who was casing the barbershop with him, was court-ordered to wear a GPS monitor, which gave the Boston PD the GPS info of him driving past the barbershop multiple times before Bunzo was murdered. So the police got all that GPS data to prove that he's doing reconnaissance for the murder. Now, the state didn't act on it right away. Maybe it wasn't enough evidence. Maybe they weren't piecing that together, I don't know, and the shit continued to get violent. Right after they killed this guy Bunzo, Cal and G. Fredo made the song Dead Ops, and they were just taunting Cameron Street. And what's wild about the music is G. Fredo and Cal are getting hundreds of thousands of listens on SoundCloud. Meanwhile, their rivals from Cameron Street got no music, none. It's like a one-sided battle in the booth, right? They're beating up on them on the tracks, basically controlling the narrative. And while all this is going on, the NOB gang was spreading their enterprise. They opened up some trap houses where they were packing up heroin, fentanyl, coke, and they had a huge customer network that went as far as Cape Cod in one direction and Maine in the other. If one of the NOB members got booked, someone would take their place, and the money would get relayed back to 7981 Cal, who would pay for their lawyers, give them canteen money. I even heard stories of Cal and G. Fredo getting dressed up as junkies to go down to the crackhead spot in the city, which is an intersection in Boston called the Methadone Mile. And they would do deals as crackheads. But the problem was the state was onto them, right?
Bro, them niggas is smart, bro. I never ever would have thought of that shit. Nigga, dressing up as a crackhead to go sell crack, nigga. I never would have thought of that shit. A dumb drug dealer would walk outside, nigga, Gucci down, nigga, Ferragamo down, nigga, Prada down, nigga. Selling crack on the street. Nah, they think it's smart with that shit. Damn.
The Boston police had several undercover officers playing the role of addicts who went to go make purchases off NOB members who were dealing. They had transaction records through text and phone, and they started to build up some evidence of the drug trafficking that NOB was doing. But even the state didn't know the scope of things. They might have made a couple of petty drug arrests here and there, but NOB kept expanding their operations. One night in February of 2018, G. Fredo and one of his shooters pulled up to Cameron Street in a Chrysler Pacifica. They were doing a drill. They saw one of their rivals, whose name was John Collin, chilling in front of his house. So they doubled back a second time and pulled the car in slowly. G. Fredo and his boy went stealth mode through an alley that was adjacent to John's house, and once they saw him, They started shooting. Once they dropped him, they made it back to the Chrysler and dipped. And a woman rushed over to John to see if he was okay. And as he was bleeding out, he pointed to the Chrysler and said, "That was G. Fredo." And he bled out and died. Less than 6 weeks after that murder, G. Fredo put out the song They Don't Know, where he basically recreates the murder scene of John Collin in his music video. Now, something about
What, bro? See, if you supposed to, if you killing niggas out here, bro, and I'm not a killer, I'm gonna say that right here. If you killing niggas out here, bro, why would you make a damn music video on how you killed a nigga, bro? It's rather you just mad disrespectful and don't give a fuck, or you just dumb as shit. Either way, you shouldn't be doing it, bro. Like, why? See, you could. I don't know if you locked up or not. Probably is after this shit. I mean, I'm guessing because you got the title name is largest crew takedown. I'm guessing you locked up. You could have been free right now if you didn't talk to man so damn hard.
Fredo was, he was known as the small dude with the itchy trigger finger. He would often head over to Cameron Street just looking for trouble. I heard stories of grown-ass men like OGs from the block that would see him coming and start running, which, I mean, I would too. Bullets don't discriminate with your age. You could be 19 and small with a gun, I'm running. And the rumors on the internet is that Fredo has at least 5 bodies, including his childhood friend who went by the name of Smoke, who he actually shouts out on a song called What Happened. I think the lyrics go,
I mean, he gunned down his own homeboy? That ain't your homeboy. Obviously. He said 5 bodies and one of them was his childhood friend or some shit like that. Niggas is crazy, bro.
trying to do a kid like who? Trying to do him like Smoke. This was allegedly one of his close friends who, I guess he had to do him like that. Now, as G. Fredo is racking up kills, his music is also doing really well, especially in the city. And he and 7981 Cal started to call their rap collective HSM, which stood for Headshot Mafia. Basically, you couldn't join unless you got a body. Now, as the music was picking up speed, the Boston police were starting to tap in a little more. They actually set up surveillance at NOB territories and Cameron Street territories just to try and reduce the killings. In March of 2018, less than 2 months after the murder of John Collin, investigators were conducting surveillance near G. Fredo's place. They saw Fredo get picked up in a rented SUV, driving towards a residential neighborhood associated with Cameron Street. And the only reason for NOB members to be driving to that area was clearly they were looking to do drills, right? But they noticed they were being tailed by police. So they started to drive and swerve in a way to get...
Nigga just drive around looking to do a drill, bruh. No, these niggas is allergic to chilling. Just drive around looking for a damn, looking for trouble. Damn. See, a nigga like me, bro, I'm chill as fuck. I'm too laid back for that extra shooting and drama bullshit. But don't get it twisted, nigga. If it gotta come down to it, hey.
Them off their trail. This led to a high-speed chase where Fredo was in the backseat and tossed the guns out the window of the SUV somewhere on the highway, dipping in and out of traffic until eventually the cops pulled them over and arrested everybody. Now, a couple people got booked, but nothing too serious. And it wasn't until the summer of 2019 where the Boston police said, listen, this is getting out of control. We need bigger guns. So they called in the feds to assist in the investigation. Now, in July of 2019, a kid was headshot by an NOB member. And 2 days after he died, Fredo released the video for the song Die Homes. Now, he was violating with this one. He was setting their ops' clothes on fire, simulating executions of Holmes gang members, and he filmed it right on their block, right? It was super disrespectful. All while this is going on.
On they block? On they block? Whoa, nah, bro. See, that's just disrespectful, bro. At this point, you just a whole ass demon. Bro. You's a whole ass demon after that shit. And he trying to get under a nigga's skin. He said, I'm gonna make a video on your block where I killed your homie. Hey, that disrespectful. All time high. At a at an all-time high, bro.
The feds were monitoring this shit like it was The Wire. They intercepted calls between NOB members that was coded language. They were talking about eating fish, which was coded language for take out anyone you thought was Cameron Street. I'll read a bit of the transcript, right? Check this out. Even if I'm out fishing and I got my hook in the water, I'm not gonna catch that fish because I don't know what these fishes look like, bro. Now the dude on the other line goes, any fish is food. We live in the ocean. Even if you think it's friendly, you eat that fish. Just some demonic shit, right? While all this is going on, G Fredo and Cal are blowing up on SoundCloud, right? They did a music video with Polo G that summer. They did one with Mozzie in October of 2019. Now, the kid who was headshot in July of 2019, he actually had a twin brother who tried to leave Cameron Street and he tried to escape detention with NOB. They caught up to him all the way out in the suburbs of Boston, like 45 minutes away. And they did that in February of 2020. So you don't escape this. This was kind of the last straw, right? The feds had been building and building and building this case since summer of 2019. And the reason the feds were brought in was to establish what's called RICO charges. Now, you probably heard of that maybe from the Treyway case with 6ix9ine, where they got RICO charges. Basically, before the RICO Act was signed into law, I think by President Reagan, it was virtually impossible to prosecute the high-level mafia dons or the leaders of the gangs, right? Because they rarely ever had direct paper trail or direct evidence of them committing the crimes. It was always enforcers. So the RICO Act let the government charge everybody as a criminal organization responsible for the individual actions people inside that gang took. So if somebody commits a murder for the express purpose of moving up in the gang and elevating the criminal enterprise, everybody can be responsible for it under RICO charges. So a couple weeks ago, the feds came in, they did a huge raid in a bunch of different boroughs of Massachusetts. They swooped in and they took down 31 members of the NOB gang, including G Fredo and 7981 Cal. And as I said, literally a couple days ago, 7981 Cal released a music video for his song Rico, right? Because they knew this was coming. And looking at the indictments, they have people on bank fraud, they got people on pimping rings, they got, of course, the drug trafficking stuff from the trap houses where they were, distributing fentanyl. Of course, they got the murder charges, attempt murder charges. Reading the indictments is pretty solid. We're gonna have to wait and see what happens. But when the feds come, they don't play. I think their conviction rate is 95%. So if you're a fan of 7981 Cal and G Fredo, I gotta admit, their music is fire. But they're not coming home.
He said it straight up, they ain't coming home. But hey, that's the end of the video, you know what I'm saying? Hey, that's just... Bro, them niggas disrespectful, bro. I probably gotta listen to one of their songs or some shit. But hey, if you got another video for me to react to, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and drop that bitch in the comments, you feel me? I'll be reading the comments because y'all follow me. And I fuck with y'all, obviously. So shit. Miss Willa, time out, nigga.
You ain't never seen 100 racks, little boy. You was doing homework, I was serving packs, little boy. So me and you ain't even no even matchup, boy. I can sit down, take a little breath for something, you ain't never gonna catch up, boy. I pick 10 racks up, boy. Fuck around, go get fresh, I'm bored. Put in all the work to get this shit, you was doing something less important. Throwing Mary's on, trying to find my belt, I feel like